Hi everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. A little bit light on in runners. What do we have? What about Deploy and Destroy? He's always had, I don't know, 15 starts, 13 starts or something, and has been out the back last, and he led by 3, and then sort of had the audacity to sort of give a kick on the corner and just got run down late. So yeah, I don't know. I'll probably go him up to Donald next week, and if he can draw half a gate, he's going to be around about the mark again. But if there's ever a horse that I would have lost money on that he would go forward, it'd be him. But he began fair and then sort of pushed forward and then ended up leading by about 3 or 4. And anyway, he's a difficult horse, that horse. He keeps me guessing, that's for sure. Scamster goes to Geelong tomorrow, 2400, well Friday, 2400 metre race. He was placed on a real heavy track there last week. Come through it okay. He did feel it. He's been in work a while now too, so hopefully he holds up okay. Look, he's had a run over the trip, and I find these staying horses always improve second up over that sort of trip. So he's in good enough nick. He's he is what he is. He's only a real young raw horse learning what it's all about. But he'll be more than competitive tomorrow, and hopefully he can put his head in front and then maybe go for a bit of a holiday. Monday at Werribee, we'll send Loyal Consul round, 2,000 metre race. That's perfect for him. He was pretty brave the other day, dropping back to a mile. If it was 2,000 metres the other day, he probably wins. But he's sort of deep into his prep now, and he's really looking for the trip. So he'll go there, probably jump out, sit outside the leader, and he'll take a fair bit of beating. But probably wouldn't mind giving him one crack at 2,400 metres before I put him in the paddock. But that's a Loyal Consul. Stick your tongue out, buddy. Where's your tongue? Can you give me your tongue? Good boy. It's a little trick he does. Prince Ziggy goes to Warrnambool in the same race as Young Hostess. Nice little 2,350 metre race. Ziggy's going good. I'm pretty happy with him. His couple of runs have been good. Went in the Terrain Cup the other day and just sort of second up, we just sort of felt the pinch. He's had that run under his belt now. I think he's been pretty good. So he's just got a heap of weight. I'm not sure how he's going to go carrying all this weight on. He's got 61 kilos. So he's going to feel that. But look, he's in really, really good nick. And I think his owner, Ziggy Wickham's actually going to come over to watch him race. So it'll be really good to see Zig again. And hopefully he can cheer his little boy home. Young Hostess goes to Warrnambool. 2,300 metre race, 2,350 or 2,340 metres. Look, absolutely bolted in the other day at Geelong. She was clearly better than those sort of horses. This is a fair step up in grade. Just sweating on the track's going to be okay. She doesn't handle heavy tracks, so they're forecasting a bit of rain on the weekend, so I'm just sort of sweating that the track will hold up okay. But she's in very good nick. Galloped up beautifully this morning. She's ready to go back to the races. So this little Young Hostess. Minyinga, she's back in town and ready to go back to the races. She'll go to Warrnambool, 1,200 metre 70, that's her go. Gave her a nice solid jump out here at the farm this morning, and I thought she galloped up good, got to the line strong, and has pulled up really well from it. So she's ready to go back to the races. She's a really sort of sting out of the ground sort of horse, so she's back in here ready to target the sort of winter races. Her goes those midweek races at Sandown. She goes around there every sort of second week, and she wins about 1 in every 5. So that's her go, and she certainly seems to have come back in good order. You can see her beautiful in the coat, and she's nice and healthy, so hopefully we'll have a really good prep. Little Miss Gutsaa goes first up to Warrnambool on Tuesday. Little 64, 1,100 metre race. Look, she's above this sort of grade, but being Warrnambool is going to be very, very strong. It'll be a city grade race. She seems to be going pretty good. Fitness is good. She's away to this morning. She's 22 kilos above her winning weight from last time. Now, I know she's probably matured a little bit, but still that's a fair bit of overweight. So she's probably just going to feel it. She's going there without a trial. And her work is very, very good. But I know we've got a lot of improvement still left in her for the rest of the prep. But it's Little Miss Gutsaa will go first up at Warrnambool. Lorenzetti's on his way back from a serious tendon injury. He's had 2 bowed tendons and spoiled a little horse, and ironically it was the same leg but a different spot. So he had a good jump out during the week here at the farm, galloped up like a rocket, and he's in very good condition, as you can see. So he'll run first up at Warrnambool. A nice little 1,400 metre benchmark 70. He's in very good order. I expect to have a really good prep. Touch wood, the leg's holding up really well. So he had a nice solid gallop yesterday. Just give him a nice little light lunge this morning, and his action was beautiful. So He's come through. That was his final gallop yesterday, so he's ready to go. So he'll run first up over 1400, and then he'll progress up over his best sort of city grade form is probably 2000 metres plus. So, but he's all ready to go to the races, little fella. Typically Brazen goes to Warrnambool in the 1700 metre race. It's a little Vobus race. I think it's a really good race. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards, so it sort of suits her. Look, she just bombed she didn't even bomb the start the other day. She jumped out and got absolutely smashed coming out of the barriers, and found herself back last. We're going to sit outside the leader. The leader ended up winning, so she was probably a bit stiff. So interesting to see. Just needs to draw a gate and get a half-pie decent run, and she's going to be pretty competitive. She's as far as this sort of graded race, she's probably as good as what's getting around. She just needs a bit of luck in running. It's typically Brazen. Got a little Grable in here at Warrnambool in a 1700 metre race. Just going to pop her up to the 1700 and see how she goes. She won okay the other day, stuck her head out right on the line, and she was pretty lucky to win that race. I thought the absolute bob of the head, but it was good. We'll take anything. So she, we'll try her over the 1700. She's done a good job. Like, she was over racing and was struggling to run 1300 metres, and we dropped her right back to the 1100. Taught her how to jump out and relax, and now she's sort of bowling along, sitting up on the speed, but doing it nice and relaxed, not over racing. So we'll try her back over the 1700 again. Warrnambool, you're throwing them right in the deep end, aren't you? Warrnambool Carnival, 1700 metre 64. That's probably going to be as strong a 64 as you can get. But we're going to walk away from the race knowing exactly where we're at with that and what sort of grade she's going to get to, and hopefully she's pretty competitive. La Spezia goes first up at Warrnambool on Warrnambool Cup Day, little 1400 metre mares race. Look, she's come back in great order. She won first up last time in, then she won in town, and then was very unlucky in a couple of runs and was probably frustrating to watch. But she spelled really well. She's put on plenty of condition, and she's now a really furnished mare. 1400 first up, we're obviously going to be a bit short, but she's very fresh and very well. Galloped up here the other day with Lorenzetti, and both of the horses worked up like rockets. So she's certainly shown me enough speed to be competitive over the 1400. So I've no doubt she'll be more than competitive, but I think she'll have a really good prep. She's an ideal sort of winter in Melbourne horse. When we get her to mile plus, I think she's going to have a pretty good prep. She's lovely and sound. As always, she lives out here in the paddock, and she's sort of really happy sort of doing it. So keen on taking to the races. She'll go first up at Warrnambool.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horse is a horse called Scamster. He'll go around at Geelong tomorrow, 2400 metres. He ran second over that trip last start on a heavy 10. He won't get that heavier track tomorrow, but yeah, I think the heavy, the 2400 he'll relish, and yeah, on his home track, so there's no reason why he won't run him well again. He's a horse that's just taken a little while to mature. We've had him here on the farm since he was on his mum, and he was probably one of the first horses that were branded with the EMS brand. So yeah, he's a horse that's just sort of, his nickname around the stables is Gangles, probably for the reason that he since day dot he's been that big gangly sort of horse. But yeah, I think once we've got him to that 2400, he's really come into his own, and I think even again next prep he'll improve again. But yeah, hopefully he can put his best foot forward tomorrow, and yeah, we can be in the winter stall with him.
G'day guys, Big Jobs here. In typical Big Jobs fashion, he didn't let you down last week because you guys couldn't officially get on the multi. So that was a bit of a test run. We'll attack it again this week. So I got Jeremy Cameron to kick 3 this week against Fremantle. Fremantle obviously a bit better than North Melbourne, so I reckon he'll have 3. Malkovich at Hawkesbury in race 6, so hope that gets up. And the third and final leg is My Whisper in the Australasian Oaks for Jamie Carr. So you should be getting around 25 to 1. Anything above that is a bonus, and hope we get the chockies. Cheers.
Yeah, that's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Big Warrnambool Carnival this week. Probably the first time in geez, I reckon probably 4 or 5 years. We're actually going to take a few runners down there. I've sort of avoided it a little bit because I just haven't had the quality of horse. But horses we're taking will all be. I'm taking a bunch of horses that are more or less city grade horses. So they're all first up and all seem to be going really well. Pretty happy with them. So they'll all be big prices. But I can run a couple of cheeky place gettings first up. I think it'll be good. Went into racing.com this week and did a little bit of an interview. They must be scraping the bottom of the barrel. They asked me to go in. So, but anyway, if you just follow the link down here below, you can click on it and you will be able to see the interview just sitting down with Terry Bailey, and sort of gives a bit of a background of where I came from and sort of what we're on about and that sort of stuff. So it's probably not a bad little interview, but certainly something worthwhile watching for our subscribers to the video. What else we got? Yeah, pretty keen to go to Warrnambool this week. It's always, it's like schoolies for 40-year-olds, Warrnambool, isn't it? It's a great take time. So we will have runners on all 3 days. So if anyone's down there, by all means, pop over, say good day, and we'll let you know how the horses are going. Until next week, see you later.
Well, in typical Big Jobs fashion, I didn't deliver. No, that doesn't start well. We're cutting that. We're going to go again this week, but I'll make sure you guys can get on, and then preparation. It's all about preparation. So, all right.